Kauffman, who is a senior at CAM High School and stand out on the basketball court. And more or less, just kind of tell me what got you started in the sport of basketball.
I started playing when I was young. I liked playing with my classmates, so I continued to do it
Okay, when did you start?
around second grade.
Okay, kind of a common time that a lot of basketball players start the game, and just what kind of did you specifically like about basketball besides playing with your teammates?
I like the intensity of the sport.
Okay, and you still like the intensity today, then, right?
Yeah.
And why do you enjoy being a part of the CAM basketball team specifically?
It's a really friendly program. A lot of girls are really open to talking to you.
Uh-huh. And you've learned quite a bit, I'm sure, over the last 4 years, including last year, where you were, I'm sure, a big part of a state-bound team. So just what was it like being part of that state-bound team?
It was really fun. It was a really unique experience. I didn't know if we were actually going to go to state when I came in freshman year, and it just happened last year.
And I'm sure you've learned quite a bit from last year's seniors.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Macy Tickner is a really friendly person. She's really taught. And Paige McAfee, they both taught me how to be really friendly towards others on the court, because it's really helpful to have people smiling rather than hating each other while we're playing.
And then Madison Gettler, too, I would imagine.
Yeah, she was really good at helping out people with learning how to do new moves on the court.
Okay. And what do you think you learned from them that has carried over into your senior year?
I've learned how to be a leader, how to communicate with people more.
Okay. And that's kind of translated into success for this year, I would imagine. So,
Yeah.
just what is it about being a leader that you would say is important? Why do you want to influence the younger athletes?
Because doing sports is a great way to learn communication and how to speak in public.
And do you do a lot of speaking in public right now? Or?
I'm baby steps into it because I'm not really a social person.
But when you get out there, you're more or less really
Yeah.
open and talkative, I imagine.
Yeah, because you don't feel like it's a whole crowd watching you. You feel like it's just you and 9 other girls.
9 other girls, or you're 5, and then hopefully the 5 that you're playing
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
and you can beat them. So,
Mm-hmm.
what position do you play?
I've been on the wing and point guard mostly. I'm
Okay.
far too short to be center or a post.
Okay, yeah, but shooting more or less from the
Three-point line, yeah.
the outside and the perimeter, maybe a little bit. So, talk about that part of your game. Why you enjoy? It sounds like you enjoy that part of the game a lot.
I like shooting the 3-pointers because it's a less likely chance for me to get stuffed. Because the taller girls don't tend to play out there.
Okay, yeah, but sometimes they do get smart and they
Yeah.
try to match up against the little girls and create a mismatch, more or less. So.
Yeah.
But just talk about your teammates, how they've helped you.
They really showed me how to create my own space to make that 3-point shot.
Mm-hmm.
And they help create more shots for themselves too.
Okay. What do you think you've given them? What would you say your number one thing that you have given your teammates? Reciprocate.
I think that I've passed the ball primarily well to get in the assist to find the open shot for them.
Okay. And I noticed you're wearing a track T-shirt for Iowa Track and Field. So you're out for track as well?
No, I haven't done track since sophomore year.
Okay. Well, what else do you do at sports-wise?
I do a lot of softball. I do softball year round.
Okay, so just talk about how softball and basketball have fed off each other.
I've definitely become more social on the field as a softball player. I've become more of the leader and the captain of the team.
Okay. It sounds like really you weren't really a social person before you got into sports.
No.
And that's okay. That's okay. Just more of an introspective introvert, I guess you would say. How can introverts succeed in a team sport like this?
Well, it's very difficult, so you have to learn how to jump out of your comfort zone to talk to other people.
And go on.
Yeah.
All right. So just get out of your comfort zone. Do you think you've learned anything from that?
Yeah, it's helped a lot with speaking to other people, meeting new people. That helps.
Public speaking again. Yeah. Go on.
Meeting other people is helpful too, to have connections from other teams, so you can learn about other people in the area.
And I'm sure that it's helped with just your what's that term I'm thinking of? Your self-esteem and your self-assurance and all that. Talk a little bit about that. Confidence.
Well, it definitely helps with your confidence when you're able to talk to people and when you know people from other teams, so you don't feel as uncomfortable when you go out onto the field or on the court.
Okay, all right. And how do you think that's going to carry over after you get out of high school?
Definitely help meeting other people, making connections to get new jobs, to find a career.
Okay. What else do you do at CAM then besides sports?
Not really much.
Okay, so this is basically it then. Just where do you hope to go for college?
I'm going to Iowa, the College of Engineering, to study civil engineering.
And there you're going to really need to kind of get out in the open, talk to people and all that. And obviously that's going to help just what you've learned with sports to carry over into your career.
Yep.
More or less. Talk about that then.
You definitely have to be able to communicate, because you could be a project manager, so you could be in charge of a whole group of people, 200, 500 people, so you have to be able to talk to them and tell them what to do.
Yep. You think you might get to that point someday, or?
I hope so.
All right. And talk about what advice you would give to underclassmen that are looking up to you and being that leader and role model.
I definitely say choose academics over sports. Look at your grades before you think about your next game.